Welcome everyone to our culinary journey where we explore the magic of cooking on a rainy weekend. Why don't chefs ever play hide and seek? Because good luck hiding when your timer's going off for the soup. Now that's a joke only a true foodie can appreciate. Cooking, after all, is more than just a necessity. It's an art, a therapy, a celebration of flavors, and most importantly, a creator of memories. Rainy weekends in particular have a unique charm. They're cozy, they're comforting, and they make the heart yearn for a hot bowl of something delicious. Number 6. Felicity Cloak's Ribollita soup. And what better way to start than with a classic soup recipe? Today, we're diving into the warm, hearty world of Felicity Cloak's Ribollita. For those not in the know, Ribollita is a Tuscan soup that's as rich in history as it is in flavor. Its name, which translates to reboiled, is a nod to its humble origins. This is a dish that was born out of necessity, using leftover vegetables and bread to create something incredibly satisfying. It's a testament to the fact that cooking isn't just about fancy ingredients and complicated techniques. It's about making the most of what you have and turning it into something extraordinary. Felicity Cloak's version of Ribollita is a celebration of this ethos. It brings together an array of vegetables, beans, and stale bread, transforming them into a soup that's hearty, comforting, and incredibly flavorful. It's the kind of dish that warms you from the inside out, making it the perfect companion for a rainy weekend. So, are you ready to turn up the heat and add a little spice to your life with this Ribollita recipe? Rest assured, this is just the beginning. We've got a whole buffet of cozy recipes waiting to be explored, so buckle up, grab your aprons, and let's dive into the world of cooking. Number 5. Alice Zaslavsky's Shchi Stew. Do you know what a soup addict said when he tasted stew for the first time? I'm stupid for not trying this sooner. Now, let's dive into our second recipe. Alice Zaslavsky's Shchi, a traditional Russian cabbage stew. This heartwarming stew is known for its simplicity and depth of flavor, making it a perfect comfort food for those chillier days. The key ingredient in shchi is of course cabbage, but not just any cabbage. For this recipe, we're talking about fresh, crisp, green cabbage. It's the star of the show, bringing a delightful crunch and a slightly sweet flavor to the stew. Next, we have a mix of root vegetables, carrots, potatoes, and onions, all chopped into bite-sized pieces. They add a wonderful earthiness to the stew, balancing out the sweetness of the cabbage. Then, there's the meat. Traditionally, shchi is made with beef, but feel free to use whatever you have on hand. Chicken, pork, even a mix of different meats work beautifully in this stew. The key is to slow cook the meat until it's tender and falling apart. This not only enhances the flavor of the stew, but also gives it a rich, hearty texture. Now, let's talk about the broth. The secret to a great shchi is a homemade beef or chicken broth. It's the base of the stew, providing a deep savory flavor that ties all the ingredients together. If you're in a pinch, a good quality store-bought broth will do, but nothing beats the homemade version. And finally, the seasoning. Salt, pepper, and a bay leaf are all you need. Simple, right? But trust me, these humble ingredients work wonders in enhancing the flavors of the soup. Now onto the cooking process. Start by sautéing the onions and carrots in a large pot until they're soft. Then, add the meat and cook it until it's browned on all sides. Next, add the cabbage, potatoes, and broth. Bring the stew to a boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer. The longer it cooks, the better it tastes. So, be patient and let the magic happen. Once the stew is done, serve it hot with a dollop of sour cream and a sprinkle of fresh dill. And there you have it, Alice Zaslavsky's Shchi, a cozy Russian cabbage soup that's sure to warm your heart and your taste buds. Now, doesn't that make you want to say, shchi yeah? Number 4, pumpkin soup. Why did the pumpkin soup blush? Because it saw the salad dressing. Well, it's time to turn our attention to a dish that's as heartwarming as that joke. Yodam Ottolenghi's roast pumpkin soup. This isn't just any pumpkin soup, it's a symphony of flavors that will have your taste buds dancing with delight. To get started, we'll need a nice ripe pumpkin. But not just any pumpkin, mind you, we're looking for a sugar pumpkin. This variety has a sweeter, more mellow flavor that lends itself beautifully to our soup. Next, we'll need some fresh herbs. Think rosemary, thyme, and bay leaves. These will infuse our pumpkin with a delightful aromatic quality that's sure to make your kitchen smell incredible. Now let's talk spices. We're going to use a warm blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, and a dash of cayenne for a little kick. This will give our soup that signature pumpkin spice flavor that's so synonymous with comfort and warmth. The preparation is simple. We start by roasting our pumpkin, which will make it sweet and caramelized. Then we'll sauté our herbs and spices to release their flavors before adding the roasted pumpkin and some vegetable stock. Now, here's the secret to a velvety smooth soup: a good blender. After our soup has simmered and the flavors have melded together, we'll blend it until it's smooth and creamy. And there you have it. A bowl of Yotam Ottolenghi's roast pumpkin soup is like a hug in a bowl. It's the perfect dish to warm you up on a cold day or simply when you're in need of some culinary comfort. So, the next time you're planning your weekend menu, why not give this recipe a try? It's a super way to add some seasonal flavor to your table. And remember, when it comes to cooking, it's always about having fun and experimenting with different flavors and ingredients. And that's how you add a little gorgeous flavor to your weekend. Number 3, Felicity Cloak's Caldo Verde Soup. Why don't we tell secrets in the kitchen? Because the potatoes have eyes, the corn has ears, and the beans stalk. Now, speaking of beans, let's dive into a recipe that has none but is still a hearty, comforting dish: Felicity Cloak's Caldo Verde. Originating from the verdant hills of northern Portugal, caldo verde, or green broth, is a soup that embodies simplicity and flavor in every spoonful. The recipe is as straightforward as it is delicious, making it a perfect choice for a cozy weekend dinner. Now let's talk ingredients. The star of the show is, of course, the greens. Traditionally, you'd use couve galega, a Portuguese cabbage, but kale or collard greens make a great substitute. Next up, we've got potatoes for that creamy, comforting base. Then, there's the smoky curacao sausage, adding a depth of flavor that complements the freshness of the greens. Round it off with some olive oil, garlic, and salt for seasoning, and you've got yourself a hearty, nourishing meal in a bowl. Preparing caldo verde is a breeze. You start by boiling potatoes until they're soft enough to mash. While the potatoes boil, fry slices of curacao in a pan until they're crispy. Once the potatoes are ready, you mash them right in the pot, creating a creamy base for your soup. Add your sliced greens to the pot, let them wilt in the hot potato mash, then pour in your boiling water. Let the soup simmer until the greens are cooked. To finish it off, add your crispy chorico and a drizzle of olive oil. Voila! Your caldo verde is ready. This soup is a testament to the magic that happens when simple ingredients come together. The kale brings a vibrant green color and a fresh taste. The potatoes lend a creamy texture, and the curacao adds a hint of smoky indulgence. It's a symphony of flavors that warms you from the inside out, making it a perfect dish for a rainy weekend or a cozy gathering with loved ones. And there you have it, folks. Felicity Cloak's Caldo Verde, a green dream come true. Who knew being green could taste so good? Number 2, feijoada stew from Brazil. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Now let's sway away from blushing tomatoes and venture into the world of beans with our 5th recipe: Yotam Ottolenghi's feijoada, a black bean beauty that will leave your taste buds dancing. Feijoada is not just a dish, it's a culinary celebration from Brazil. This savory stew is traditionally made with black beans and a variety of pork cuts, slow cooked to perfection. But Ottolenghi adds his unique twist, showing us that the beauty of home cooking is the freedom to experiment and adapt. To start this black bean spectacle, you'll need to gather your ingredients. Black beans, of course, are the star of the show. Then you'll need some smoked bacon chorizo, and if you're feeling adventurous, some pork belly. You'll also need onions, garlic, and a handful of spices to add depth to the flavors. Now let's get cooking. Sauté your onions and garlic until they are nicely caramelized. This will lay a flavorful foundation for your feijoada. Next, add in your meat, letting it brown and soak up the flavors from the onions and garlic. Once your meat is browned, it's time to add in your black beans and spices. Cover everything with water and let it simmer. The magic of feijoada comes from the slow cooking process. As the stew simmers, the flavors from the meat, beans, and spices meld together, creating a harmony of taste that is both hearty and comforting. It's the kind of dish that warms you from the inside out, making it perfect for those rainy weekends when all you want to do is curl up with a good book and a bowl of something delicious. And there you have it. Yotam Ottolenghi's feijoada, a Brazilian black bean beauty that is sure to impress at your next dinner gathering. Pair it with some warm, crusty bread and a glass of your favorite red wine, and you've got a meal fit for a king, or a queen, or just a very hungry you. Feijoada, it's a bean dream come true. Number 1, Lunar New Year egg dumplings. Why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because it felt crumby. Now, let's move into our final recipe for today, a special one by Roisin Call. It's Lunar New Year egg dumplings in a warm, comforting broth. This dish is traditionally enjoyed during the Lunar New Year celebrations, symbolizing prosperity and new beginnings. To kick things off, you'll need a few key ingredients. We're going to start with some chicken or vegetable broth, whichever you prefer. You'll also need some fresh eggs, flour, and salt for the dumplings, which are the star of this dish. To make the dumplings, you'll first whisk the eggs in a bowl until they're well beaten. Then, gradually add in the flour, stirring constantly to avoid lumps. You're looking for a consistency that's somewhere between pancake batter and cookie dough. Once you've got your batter, it's time to shape those dumplings. Using 2 spoons, scoop up some batter with one, and use the other to scrape it off into boiling broth. You'll know they're done when they float to the surface. While the dumplings cook, prepare your broth. It can be as simple or as complex as you want. Some people like to add vegetables or chicken for extra flavor. When your dumplings are ready, gently scoop them out and add them to your broth. And there you have it. Roisin calls Lunar New Year egg dumplings. A warm, comforting dish that's perfect for a cozy weekend in. And that's how you wrap up a meal with a sweet dumpling delight? What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. A good laugh to kickstart our recap, wouldn't you agree? Now let's take a moment to relish in the culinary delights we've explored together. First, we dove into the world of soups, where we encountered Felicity Cloak's ribollita, a hearty Tuscan bread soup that's as comforting as a warm hug on a cold day. If you thought bread was only for sandwiches, this soup surely made you think again. Then we ventured into the realm of stews with Alice Zaslavsky's shchi, a traditional Russian cabbage soup that takes humble cabbage to high gastronomic heights. And if you were ever in doubt about cabbage's star power, this dish surely put those doubts to rest. Our journey continued with Yotam Ottolenghi's roast pumpkin soup, a dish that would make even Cinderella rethink her choice of carriage. This soup proved that pumpkin isn't just for Halloween, but a star ingredient that deserves a spotlight on our dining tables year-round. Next, we explored Felicity Cloak's caldo verde, a Portuguese green soup that's as nourishing as it is vibrant. If you ever wondered how to turn a bunch of greens into a bowl of delight, this soup certainly provided an answer. We then sauntered to Brazil with Yotam Ottolenghi's feijoada, a black bean stew that's as rich and comforting as a velvet blanket. This dish showed us that beans are not just musical fruits, but culinary rock stars in their own right. Finally, we celebrated the Lunar New Year with Roisin calls egg dumplings in broth, a dish that encapsulates the festive spirit in edible parcels of joy. If you ever doubted that food could be a celebration, these dumplings served as a delicious reminder. Through this culinary journey, we've discovered that the kitchen is not just a place for sustenance, but a playground for creativity, exploration, and even humor. Each dish we've examined is a testament to the artistry of home cooks around the world, and a reminder that delicious food is within reach of all of us. So, whether you're a seasoned home cook or a culinary novice, remember, the best dishes are those made with a generous dose of passion, a splash of creativity, and yes, a dash of humor. After all, as we've seen today, food is not just about feeding our bodies, but also about nourishing our souls and tickling our funny bones. Remember, the secret ingredient in any recipe is a heap of love and a pinch of humor. For more food and drinks tips and recipes, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Tell us about your thoughts in the comment section. Check out our other videos for more culinary inspiration. We love you. Until next time, keep cooking, stay adventurous.